Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing Ben-HUR, the remake of the adaptation of Ben-HUR, A Tale of the Christ. So, haven't seen the original or the original remake from the 1950s. That's the one that everyone knows about. Nor have I read the book, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect, but just judging by the way it's spoken of, just like in its Wikipedia description and stuff, it sounds like it's along the same lines as something like the Ten Commandments, maybe? Like a big biblical, historical epic thing. I know it's a fictional story, but you know, it's set around during the time that Jesus is alive and stuff, and Jesus has influence on the plot. I know that much. I'm assuming that at the very least the 1950s one was kind of that type of thing, just a big historical drama piece set in that time and with like religious context and stuff to it. My main thing with that is that I'm not sure where they'll go with this, because most certainly demand for, like, super long religious drama has gone down quite a bit. Like, I suppose, like, whiny, irrational religious drama has gone up, but, like, not big, epic religious drama. So I'm not sure what direction will this go. Will it subvert the religious angle, or will it keep it going? I know that there's a character playing Jesus in this, so they're definitely keeping that part. But will it be able to reach the heights of the original? I mean, like, it was an epic. Like, the movie's over 3 hours long, like the other one. And that's not something people can stand today, so this movie is only 2 hours. So it's making me wonder, just what are they going to cut? Is it going to be mostly an action movie? I mean, because every single freaking screenshot I see of them is Ben-HUR making a goofy face on a chariot. Like the same goofy slanted angle on a chariot, no matter what freaking thing I see. It's like that's the only image from the film. I'm going to see that image for 2 hours and nothing else. So, yeah, I'm very cautious about this. I'm not reasonably, just in the nature of remakes today and the nature of this particular story. I think this is probably going to be serviceable, but very bland, and probably very forgettable too. That's just like from experience with how these types of things normally turn out. But I suppose we'll have to see. Alright, so alright, short story is, it was decent. Okay. I suppose the most interesting aspect about this is definitely the whole Jesus angle that they go for this. So, as I said, I have no idea how the original story goes, but with this movie, it was very interesting in the fact that, like, it's set around the time that Jesus is doing his thing. Like, it's set in AD 33, so Jesus is 33. And at the end of the movie, he gets crucified. Spoilers. That's what happened to Jesus. So like, you know, the events of the movie are happening at the same time as the events of later life of Jesus and stuff. And really interesting thing about that is that, plot-wise, Jesus had no point in that story. Like, whenever it cut to Jesus doing his thing, it had very little relevance to anything that was going on. And even when he was crucified in the end, not not much of an impact on the plot whatsoever. Didn't make much sense. But the really interesting thing is that from a thematic point of view, it makes a lot of sense. Because the overall theme of this movie is that the hatred between brothers and, quests for revenge and stuff like that tears a family apart and sends them to ruin. And that peace and love will make things better. That's the stuff that Jesus preached. So having the end of Jesus' life happening at the same time and stuff, and those influences going on there, thematically, it's brilliant. So, great writing on that angle. That was cool. But my main setback with the movie is that, aside from that, it has almost nothing going for it. Like, if it wasn't for that aspect, this would just be another generic remake that you'll forget in like a year. And the thing is, I can't even say that this movie is unique for that, because I read a plot summary of the original movie, and I think that kind of happened there too. I'm not sure to this extent, but like definitely the whole certain events coinciding with it did. And so, yeah, I have no idea if this thing has anything more to offer than the original. And it certainly doesn't have much to offer just in terms of being a movie in and of itself. There's a lot of action. It's very violent. But it's not really in service of much. The message is really simple, and I don't know. None of the characters are very strong in this. Especially the relationship between Ben-HUR and his adopted brother. It had kind of a Ten Commandments thing going on, where they're brothers, but they're separated in a conflict, and they're fighting against each other, kind of thing. It had that aspect to it, but God, I did not believe for 1 second that these people knew each other that well. It's very unconvincing. And not much good acting on the scale for this movie. Very bland. Morgan Freeman is in this, and he does fine. But other than that, not much in the way of anything that stands out. And that's just the main problem. It really, other than the Jesus thing, it totally just blends into the crowd for action drama movies that have happened. You can pile this on with 20 other films that have happened recently, and yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. So that's what gets me to say it's just okay. I'm not sure that one aspect is really enough to convince someone to see it. Maybe the original has more to offer. Maybe it goes more in depth into this stuff, and it's a better movie. But yeah. So I don't know about that. But just for this movie in particular, I'm not sure it's enough to hold it up. And yeah, that's just my opinion on it. So until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dyer-Situation.